This is Revit. So yeah, this is Revit, and then this is a plan view in Revit. In Revit, you still have always access to your model view, your 3D view. So whatever I model in, let's say I'm gonna model a beam in the 2D environment, I will have it in 3D. So that's why Revit is for. You model, and it model everything, everywhere, in every views. So first thing to do in Revit, you have to create your grid lines. So you create like grid line 1, you copy it like 12,000, 1,200, 1,000, 500. Then you have your grid line. You can adjust your, let's say your scale. So this way, I'm gonna move the grids here. You do the same the other way. You rename it like A. Then when you copy it, it will increment by 1. So 1,000, 500, 800. So B, C, D. Then you do have like levels in Revit. If I go in an elevation view, you have level 1, level 2, right, in the default template. So I will draw columns. I'll choose like W310 by 107 from level 1 to level 2. And I'm gonna pick, no, not that good, because I don't want them everywhere. But I'll pick 4 location here. If I look at my 3D view, that's what I have. If I move a grid line, it moves a column too, because it's attached to a grid line. If you click a column, you see in the properties at the left, it says column location mark D1. So it's located at grid line D1. You can adjust the, how do you call it in English?
Detail of level.
The detail of level. You have coarse, medium, fine. So if I go fine, I see the thickness of the column. So, and then afterward, I draw my beams. So I can like model my beams around my building here. Oh, I was at level 1, sorry. So I'm gonna pick those 4 beams, and I can pick new or edit the work plane, sorry. So I edit work plane. I'm gonna make them on level 2. So bang, those are on level 2. Then what I can do, if you see at the right, you don't see the beams because they are now located on level 2. So I'm gonna open the level 2. Here are my beams. I can work, let's say in fine. I'm gonna adjust the scale. So now I can like draw a dimension from grid to grid, and what I can do is copy those dimensions from a level to another. So I'm gonna select them, select copy to clipboard, and paste to selected views. I'm gonna select the level 1, okay. So on my level 1, I'm gonna get the dimension. So on level 1, now I have my dimension. So you don't have to do dimension on every single plan views. Then what I can do on my level 2, I can use one cool thing called beam system. So I'm gonna use the beam system to spread some beams on my model. So I'm gonna use like C 75 by 9, which is a channel. Fixed number, I want to have like 5 in my model. Select that beam. I do have like my 5 channels. So I'm gonna turn out these things, reality, fine. So that's my model right now. It doesn't make too much sense, but that's my model. If everything I modify in my model, let's say I'm gonna close this one. So if I move, let's say, a grid line, it's gonna, as I use the beam system with 5 instance of that channel, it redo the spacing for those channel. You can't overwrite that process, but as I use the beam system with a fixed number, it will recognize that the bay changed the length. What I can show you, if I go to an elevation view and I modify an elevation, let's say this one's not 3000, it's 4000. I just select it and it modified the old building. Once I have a plan view, let's say this one, I'm just gonna change to course, and I'm gonna change, I guess, okay. Let's figure that all is clean, and I want to tag those beams. So I do have something called beam annotation in the annotate. So beam annotation, I will launch this feature, and bam, it creates all the, depending on certain rules. If I want to, I'm gonna undo this. I can tag by category. So I just select stuff and I click and it tags the members. And it's possible to do like for the columns at 45-degree angle. And if I change something in the model, the label is updated automatically. So there, you can't do any mistake in Revit. And instead, if you're using text, because sometimes people don't know how to work with Revit, and they're gonna like put like C75 by 10. Let's say it's a text box. They rotate it, they move it, and yeah, and that's it. So this is a mistake. You can't. You have to avoid this. You just use the tag by category, and then you tag your stuff. So Revit, it's pretty much about it. It's like you model. The people are used to model in 2D views. You don't model as much in the 3D view. 3D view is more like you consult it just to see if it makes sense, if there's nothing clashes. It's more.
Yeah, because sometimes, like you did when you were modeling the joist, you did it on the first floor, so you're validating, oh shoot, I didn't choose the right plane.
Yeah.
So you change it and everything. That's why the 3D is there, so to validate what you're doing.
Yeah, you can, let's say, you can work in the 3D, but some stuff like, I think that structure beam system, you have to set your work plan on level 2. Yeah. And then you don't have the automatic beam system. You have to define the area where the beam system is. So it's not that easy. But if you're in the 2D view, it's really easy. Once you got this thing, let's say I'm gonna. I erased my stuff. I'm just gonna bring back those. If I need to have a section here, and just draw my section, play with the depth of my section, and it's here. You just do it fine. You move your the section box. Yeah.
Or your crop view.
Crop view, and then you have your section, so you can adjust the scale, and then if you want to see this part of the building, you have it. And then now you can add dimension, like to dimension what is the edge of the beam.
You put your accessories on your 2D plan, so it will
Yeah,
be readjusted.
yeah.
For your section.
Yeah, that's it. So let's say I'm gonna just quickly model something like an accessory here. It won't be made like this, but just to show you what will happen in the section view. So I'm gonna model in place. I don't care about the categories. An extrusion. I'm gonna set on level 2. So is it a path I selected? No, that's an extrusion, that's not a sweep. Sorry. So create a sweep. So I sketch a path. I just have to set to level 2. I can select like this as my path. I edit the profile here. Let's say my bend plate is like this. I finish, and this could be my bend plate. So if I go to my section here, oh, my section not at the right place, right location. I'm gonna move this here, click on that, and I can like dimension that thing, and let's say above edge of deck. So that can easily be done in Revit. And then you have your sheet. Let's have a new sheet with a title block. And what I can do now is just drag and drop views. So this one, section 1 here, and if you see, okay, I do have, let's say I had to crop this this view, but you see that the arrow is filled automatically.
It's
If-
overlaid.
Yeah, if you move that section on another sheet, it will update too.
Yeah.
So you don't have to mess with arrows in section, yeah, in views. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for Revit itself. It can do way more, but for a crash course of 10 minutes, that's pretty much it.
Do you have the